All right. How's everybody doing tonight? We are doing back-to-back shows here. So we're going to go over and I'm going to share my other screen here. There we go. All right. So we are excited to announce the very first edition of the Two Gems show. So the search for the next 100X. So, like everybody understands, we are all out there. We're all trying to find that next big coin, that next big thing. And, I am super excited, because I did get lucky and I got in on that scroll project. The only thing I do feel kind of unsatisfied about, like anybody, is I wish I would have bought more, and but I'm in it. It's doing good. So I am, I don't know, 300x on that coin right now, whatever it is, 1,000x. It's crazy. So I am sitting really, really good on that project right there. I just want to get out there, and the idea behind this show is to get out there to everybody else a bunch of other possible upcoming ICOs, stuff that just to put it on your radar. We are not here saying to buy into these things. We're just putting these coins, putting these ICOs on the radar for you so that you have the ability to not have to go out there and search and sift through, all these ICOs, the majority of them, which so many of them are a scam. Crypto Warrior, we are going to have a couple different guests here doing the show. Crypto Warrior is our very first. This is his virgin appearance. So, Crypto, say hi to everybody.
Hey guys.
Tell them a little bit about yourself, kind of what you specialize in here in the alt space, and what you're good at.
Well, I think you've pretty well shielded me around on some of your shows as the alt master, so to speak. I guess you can say. Um, I'm pretty good at finding bottomed out coins or near bottomed out coins. I don't use Elliott Wave, not near as good as you do, of course. You're like a god at Elliott Wave. But I've
You're
had my own methods at TA, and a lot of my calls have hit targets, spot on. Some flops though, but I mean that's what you can expect from alts. With BTC just doing what it wants to do.
Yeah, so in our members area, we do have crypto. Crypto comes in. He's been charting out a lot of the altcoins for us. Uh, Crypto has been with me for a long time. He's been with me, back into when I first came into crypto. I think I probably had like 1,000, 2,000 followers back then. And, he just, man, he has called some zingers, some 30, 40 plus zingers that have bounced off the bottom. He's called them dead on, made a ton of money on them. He's been, that's kind of his specialty. So I brought him in on these shows. One thing he does love to do, he loves to go out there and find these gems. And so today, a lot of the show is just going to be him bringing to light these gems for you. And first one we're going to bring to your attention is Taraxa. So you got Taraxa, you've got an ICO. We take a look at the ICO ratings over here on CoinGecko, some of the other ICO rating systems. So here, if you look at CoinGecko, we did get a good rating. This does have it's unrated right now. So a couple of the things we looked at right initially on this is it does have a moderate Telegram, moderate Twitter followers. These are So this coin is pretty much is still a low key coin. One warning sign for me when we did look at this was that it did have 900 gazillion tokens. But we're going to let Crypto tell you a little bit more about this project.
Okay, so Taraxa is basically a solution for IoT or the Internet of Things. I see this being a pretty significant competitor to IOTA, or at least on the same playing field with IOTA. So, as we've seen in the crypto space lately, IoT has become a big and upcoming boom in blockchain, aside from artificial intelligence. So first, we had IOTA, and now we've seen IOTX. So this is a technology that is here to stay. And from what we've seen with IOTA, nearly every big tech company in the world that has smart devices, sensors, all of that coming online and being connected to one another. So it's definitely going to be here to stay. And I think we're going to see a lot more competition in the IoT field. But IoT is like the oracle for all of the data that the blockchain is gathering. So thinking of how we humans have grown to want to know everything at a moment's notice, like the weather outside, what the traffic is like, smart cities, smart devices, auto adjusting our lighting and temperature settings in our home, things like that. All of this is recorded by IoT devices and sensors that have been able to gather data and transmit, and transact with that data on a ledger. Okay, so first of all, Taraxa is a fork of Nano, and they've come up with a way for IoT devices like your smartphones, appliance sensors, and all that wonderful stuff, anything that can or will be connected to a network, to act on their own accord or independently without relying on external nodes. So the IoT devices themselves are kind of like lightweight nodes, trustless light nodes, as they call it, that each device acts concurrently beside each other, that allows the network to operate very quickly, as well as being encrypted data marketplace on top of the block lattice. So each node, say like your smartphone, for example, will own a few chains for its transactions, like your account balance and history and all that, and the smart contracts that they've deployed. So to remain part of the network independently, it will need to generate its own blocks, so send or receive transactions. So Taraxa is going to be focused on machine-to-machine transactions, where Nano is built to be P2P or peer-to-peer currency. Now, with Taraxa being built on the block lattice and built off the Nano platform, what it hopes to do, or what it aims to do, is it plans to create a smart contract platform utilizing DAG, or directed acyclic graph, structure that combines all of the advantages of Nano and Ethereum to come up with a superior solution to both, with early tests already showing Taraxa's system to be, I think, like 3 times faster than Ethereum's. So, of course, we know how fast Nano is. But they also try to increase speed even more by using what their CEO describes multi-round contract processing, which makes it so every node doesn't have to process every contract. So they claim that these smart contracts achieve high throughput because of 2 primary reasons. One, being that single nodes are able to process hundreds of smart contract calls simultaneously, and 2, is the ability to break up smart contract processing tasks to reduce work. Now, that second point is very vital in comparison to proof of work protocols. So, say with like Bitcoin and Ethereum, all miners are working to produce blocks, but ultimately one wins and confirms the newest block, and all the other miners generated work that is redundant and is wasted. But with Taraxa, once a miner runs a smart contract, that node is the sole block producer, excuse me, and thus it reduces the waste and makes for a high speed output. But Taraxa isn't out to be a payment system, as Nano already does that like extremely well. Instead, their CEO said it's going to be a concurrent virtual machine on top of the block lattice for IoT. Yeah, so it can become like the next big platform for dApps, or decentralized applications, or instant scalable concurrent IoT solutions. Now, I know what a lot of you guys are already thinking. It's like, okay, well, if this is a fork of Nano, or Nano holder is going to be airdropped Taraxa. Nothing about that has been confirmed yet by their CEO, but he did say that he plans on giving back some way into the Nano community, and hopes that Nano and Taraxa would have atomic swap capabilities in the future, to have an interchangeability between the 2 coins, depending on the type of need, whether peer-to-peer or machine-to-machine. So that's going to be a huge plus for Nano. Now, as you mentioned at the beginning, like the supply, that was one of the drawbacks that I saw, because that is a pretty ridiculous amount of supply. But with IoT devices coming into the future, I think by 2020 even, which is like we're almost in 2019 now, so we're just a year and a half away. By 2020, we're looking at about 25 billion devices being connected to one another. And I think it's projected to have 75 billion devices by 2025. So I know that token amount seems like a ridiculous amount, but considering the expected number of IoT devices over the next decade, plus the bandwidth and hardware constraint, it kind of makes sense. So I guess you can think of it like, okay, if there's 75 billion devices out there and each of those are practically running as their own independent node, if you think, okay, well, there's 75 billion devices and say each device has 1,000 tokens, yeah, it adds up and it can really eat up that supply. But there wasn't a whole lot of solidity in the token matrix. So for all we know, that token supply could be like significantly less. But two of their use cases that they really aim to talk about there is that the project could be a pioneer for DAG-based dApps for the IoT. And already they have announced the first dApp on the platform in the form of a data market service. And they mentioned on their website there that they have a range of use cases for the technology, including applications in the field of automotive, agriculture, infrastructure, and healthcare. So it's been getting some hype. I've seen the hype around it kind of grow, and seen more and more people like talk about it and ask about it. So I was like, okay, well, let's look into this. So if you want to go to the team, we can talk about their team, as I think they're pretty well stacked.
Go for it.
Oh, okay. Stephen Pugh there. He's an IoT and healthcare entrepreneur, strategy consultant. See, Deloitte. I see he's got Deloitte on there. Deloitte is a big company, in case anybody doesn't know. He's Stanford University, BS and MS in electrical engineering. I think that's what he is. And okay.
Vikram.
Don't judge me. Yeah, don't judge me if I mispronounce anybody's
name. Vikram.
Vikram Saraf, distributed computing software concurrency Ethereum hacker. Oh, he worked for Facebook. Oh, and he's got a PhD from Brown University. And let's see, we got Dr.
Do any of these other guys? Did any of these other guys actually? Did they come from other crypto companies? Do they have any other crypto company background?
No, I don't think so. I think all of these guys were from like either top-notch colleges, professors, or they come from like top Fortune 500 technology companies. Like
I love how they claim they're hackers. Ethereum and IOTA hacker. This guy down here is a Bitcoin hacker. Just, no shame in the game right there.
But apparently that next guy there, Dr. Ija Honkanen, look at that, NASA.
Yeah. Oh, he worked for NASA. How about that? Wow.
Yeah. And and then underneath that, the young guy over there on the left, I think, with the beard.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I was looking for. Oh, I'm sorry. He's top right. I'm sorry. Professor Paul Gazzillo.
Yeah, I work for Google. System security.
Yeah. Now the guy with the beard and the hair, the young guy, he's from IBM.
Yeah. So looks like they got a pretty good team put together here.
Yes, technology-wise, they definitely have a pretty stacked team.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Now, the other interesting thing about what created the hype around Taraxa, I'm not sure if anybody knows a guy named Gary Tan. He was one of Coinbase's earliest seed investors. So, and I think back in March or February or something, sometime he put out a tweet or a message or something that he's looking for a C++ developer with network protocol experience who is interested in a new IoT blockchain based on the Nano. So that's what started all the hype around finding out what this new fork is.
Hmm.
And I think I don't know too much about Gary Tan, but if he's one of Coinbase's early seed investors, then obviously he's got some serious backing behind him by now.
Yeah, and one of the big key things you have to look out there for in any ICO that's going to launch is building the hype. I see they have James Gong here, leading author. This guy's done a lot of work in the blockchain industry, helped out with a lot of white papers. You need people like this on your team to build the hype, right? Because when it comes down, the ICO field is extremely, extremely crowded, right? Just like the coin space right now. We had a chat about this on our show last night. And what we talked about is there's just so many coins out there. There's not enough capital. You've got it's basically you're dividing capital now the same amount of, we have a pie, and that pie is being cut into smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller pieces. It's a lot of the coins that are out there right now. A lot of these people got into these coins, and there's nothing. There's just nothing behind them. There's no use case. There's nothing that's going on with them. So now we are, we're in a situation to where the projects that I look for are the projects that I feel can have some fundamental use case, and they need, but most importantly, as a businessman, what I'm looking for is they've got to have volume. They got to have buyers. They got to have people to get into the market. Listen, it's irrelevant to me. A lot of these coins. I'm not looking around to invest in something that's changing the future. I'm looking at something that's in the how can I improve my personal future, and if getting into a project that has the ability to give me the return, that's one of the key elements I'm looking at. There's a lot of great projects out there that just go nowhere and they fall on their face, and listen, we're in this space at least I'm in this space. I'd like to make some money. I'm looking for that next 100x coin, and I'm looking for projects that do have the ability to, when they get launched, have the hype, have the ability to get on a couple of, have the team that can get them on an exchange or two and get some volume behind them, get them cheap, and honestly, for me, my outlook is you got 4 months to 6 months to make a really, really good decision. And after that, you're looking for, you really got to be looking at this project. It's hard to hold a project long term in the crypto space right now unless you see something substantial about the project. And for me, I'm looking at these projects as 4 to 6 month windows. You get in, you make your money, you get out. At least get your investment back, and then you can leave X amount in there. You're going to look at factor X leaving in there for the possibility that it does go, whatever it is. But, it's, I like to look at things that have people like, I'm looking for, this guy gets me excited in this team. Right? This guy right here. This guy, I look at this guy and say, this guy can get me on exchanges, I mean, this is what I'm looking for. I like people like this. I understand the fundamentals of the project. I'm going to leave that up to guys like Crypto Warrior. I have to look at it from a business aspect and an investment aspect, and my perspective is when I look at projects like this. Now, I would like to see where the ICO comes out, what the pricing is going to be. Is there a minimum buy-in? We still don't have the ICO. The ICO is pending, so we'll keep you updated on this. But we just wanted to throw Taraxa on everybody's radar. We're going to move right along to the next one. So Celer Network is our next one. So introduce us to Celer.
Whew, when you talk about 100x coin right there, Holy crap. This is I'm really excited about this one. And to kind of back up what you were saying as far as finding potential upcoming ICOs
Okay, okay.
and
So
coins.
I'd just like to lay it out here. Okay, so first of all, Crypto Warrior is married, so it doesn't take a lot to get him excited at this point in his life. All right, go ahead, continue. Don't judge him. He's already made some bad life choices. All right, but continue forward.
But when I look for future projects or even coins that are currently out there on the market now, I look at infrastructure related coins, where the industry and where the future itself is going to be leading us. So when I think of things like that, I think of artificial intelligence because that is obviously a no brainer. So basically, anything artificial intelligence is going to be huge. So you got Singularity, AGI out there. You got Matrix. You got a bunch of other upcoming coins that utilize AI in some perspective. IoT is obviously going to be another huge industry. Then, of course, you have ecosystems like ICX, VeChain, and all of that stuff. So those are the type coins that I focus on and that I would focus on if I was everybody else for solid projects that aren't just, oh, hey, we have this game or something and you have to buy our coin to, play this game.
Got it. All right, so let's take. So go ahead and just go through some of the technology here and some of the good things you're looking at.
Okay, Celer Network. This one is gonna, yeah. This is another coin that is not doesn't have a date for their ICO, but they've already got like 30 to 40,000 Telegram followers. So yeah, yeah, they've already got a really big growing community, and I've seen a lot of hype around them. So what Celer Network is it is the first off-chain operating network with coherent technology and economic architecture to bring internet-level scalability to blockchain. Now, Celer Network is horizontally, excuse me, scalable to billions of off-chain transactions per second. It's trust-free and, of course, decentralized and private. So what I mean by horizontal scalability is that when servers are clustered, the original server is being held out horizontally. So if a cluster requires more resources to improve performance, I'm sorry.
Is that this chart right here? Is that this chart?
No, no. I'm
okay.
just.
Okay. Yep. Go for it. Go for it.
So when servers are clustered, the original server is being scaled up horizontally. So if a cluster requires more resources to improve performance and provide high availability, an administrator can scale out by adding more servers to the cluster. Now, vertical scalability, on the other hand, increases capacity by adding more resources, such as more memory or an additional CPU to a machine. Now, this is also called scaling up, but this usually requires a lot of downtime while new resources are being added, and it has its limits that are defined by its hardware. So an important advantage of horizontal scalability is that it can provide administrators with the ability to increase capacity on the fly, no downtime, super fast, and keeps the system running smoothly and coherently. So another advantage that it's in theory is that it's only limited by how many entities can be connected successfully. So I don't know if anybody's heard of the distributed storage system Cassandra, for example, runs on top of hundreds of commodity nodes spread across different data centers. Because the commodity nodes are scaled out horizontally, Cassandra is fault tolerant and does not have a single point of failure. So this is what Celer Network is trying to achieve. So let's go to that page with the stacked stuff there.
Yep. There you go. So their
Yeah.
white paper is available. So I just want to let everybody know that their white paper is available. You just click on the link right there, and then it brings down you to the scalability. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So this encompasses a layered architecture with significant technical innovations for each layer. So they designed this network as a clean layered architecture that decouples sophisticated off-chain operating networks into hierarchical modules. This stack greatly reduces complexity in system design, development, maintenance, as well as enables rapid evolution of each individual component. So they call the collective specification of each layer interfaces as C stack, which consists of the C channel, which is a generalized state channel and sidechain suite, the C route, which is probably optimal state routing. Oh, that's a hard word to stumbled on that one. Optimal state routing protocol. The COS or COS, I don't know how they pronounce that. It's a development framework and runtime for off-chain enabled applications. And then, of course, there's CApps, which is an application ecosystem. So we can kind of briefly touch on what each of those are. So the C channel, it's flexible, generalized, and out-of-the-box features. It's the lowest layer of the network there that interacts with different blockchains. So this makes Celer network or Celer capable of supporting not only simple payment, but also a large category of applications such as gaming, online auction, insurance, prediction market, and of course, DEX, which is decentralized exchanges. And then moving up that the hierarchy there, the C route is the first ever probably optimal state routing. So this is crucial for off-chain payment networks because it directly determines the performance of the network, which is how fast and how many transactions can flow on a given network. So that's a biggie. And then the next one up there, the COS, I'm going to call it that because that just kind of flows. It's just a friendly developer and user experience for off-chain dApps, though with great potentials for high scalability that are much harder to build and use. And of course, the CApps, which is like we mentioned, excuse me, which is just an application ecosystem for developing apps and other dApps. Now, if you want to go to their team.
Solid team. Go ahead.
Their team is probably even more stacked than what I've seen from Taraxa. So Dr. Mo Dong there is this guy. I don't even know what university that is, but his research focuses on learning-based network protocol design, distributed systems, formal verification, and game theory. Now, this dude led a project revolutionizing internet TCP and improved cross-continental data transfer speed by 10x to 100x with non-regret learning algorithms.
Wow, say that 10 times fast.
Right, yeah. Then we have Dr. Junda Liu.
Yep.
UC Berkeley. He was the first to propose and develop DAG-based routing to achieve nanosecond network recovery, which was 1,000x improvement over current state-of-the-art modules. This dude joined Google in 2011 to apply his pioneer research to Google's global infrastructure. So we got some really, really smart guys going on already.
Wow. Nice.
We got Dr.
Dr. Lee. Dr. Lee.
Yeah.
Princeton. Jesus Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are from like way up there. Okay. He's broadly interested in distributed systems, networking, storage, and data management research. And this guy won the NSDI 2018 Best Paper Award for building a distributed coordination service with multi-billion QPS throughput and 10 microseconds latency. What that
Wow.
means in English, not really sure,
It's
to be
impressive.
honest.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
And then we got Dr.
Um,
Lang over here. Wow,
yeah,
MIT.
yeah.
Got a PhD from
MIT,
MIT.
yes. He specializes in optimal network control algorithms in adversarial environments. This dude first authored over 15 top tier papers and invented 5 high performance and highly robust adversarial resistant routing algorithms that have been successfully applied in industries such as Raytheon Technologies.
Wow.
Please,
Damn.
yeah, please tell me people out there know Raytheon Technologies.
Yeah. All right. So let's look at their advisory board. For me, I would like to see them have a much stronger advisory board. Somebody who's going to get them onto exchanges. It's great to always see good teams and good products, but you've got to have that shiller out there. And I want to see these guys add a good shiller to their advisory board. They need somebody to get out there who's in the community to really build that. Your product is only as good as your marketing team. And I think these guys are just they're missing somebody on their team right here who can really take them to the next level. That's what I would like to see. You see their roadmap, so they do have their roadmap put up here all the way out to 2019. Go ahead. Any comments on their roadmap before we wrap this up?
Just about as much as you see there.
Yeah. Let's look at
I'd like to
so.
see more on the ICO and the token matrix on that one as well.
Oh yeah. So their ICO is not on here. I do not see it on here.
No, there's rumor of Q3 to Q4 of this year.
So a lot of people seem to be delaying their ICOs out, possibly for a lot of people seem to be delaying their ICOs out for the end of the bear run, which is genius. That's one thing I look back and I look at my, I look at my, I come over here and I look at my scroll tokens. I just wish they would have waited. It would have been much better if they would have waited to, people are taking profit now and this is they should. We're up to 29 cents a coin. It was up to 37 cents a coin. But I really wish they would have waited, just been a little more patient, get out of this bear market. And it's a lot harder to launch your coin into this. It's a lot harder to launch your coin into this bear market. Now let's take a look at some of their scores. They did get a pretty good score. They did at a 3.5. They did, these guys did get a passing grade, neutral to good. They've got some pretty good grades right here. Now, here's what's really impressive. These guys have got 30,000 Telegram users, which is really good. They do have a higher Twitter following than the last ICO that we looked at. I would really like to see these guys, once again, I just feel that these guys are missing. They've got to get out in the community. They've got to get get the hype rolling. They got to get the hype going. And that's one of the biggest things you got to look at these ICOs is right now is when I go into looking into invest in ICOs, I want to see the guy that on the team that's going to get me onto exchanges. I want to see that guy who gets out there, gets into the crypto community, gets people excited about the project. And that gets me excited about projects as an investor, right? As a swing trader. And those are the things I'm looking for. I personally, I like Taraxa more because of James Gong. I like this guy. This guy to me says, hey, I'm going to get you on some exchanges. I know people, I can make those important handshakes, those important phone calls. The Celer network team, I would like to see a little more from these guys. For me to step these guys up to a good buy, right? For me, all I want to see is add another advisor, add 2 more people on here who are going to get you into the community, who are going to make those connections, who are going to get out and reach out in the community and really build the hype, right? And get you on those exchanges. So for me, I like the Taraxa team as an investment perspective only because of James. I would give them probably, you know, a 7 out of 10 rating. I would give Celer a higher rating on the actual the technology and what they're doing. I would give them an 8, you know, on there, but I would give them a 5 rating on their advisory board. I want to see. Give me some depth here. Give me some depth. Give me some guys who are going to get out here and move that product. And listen, from me here, the Vamp, I would like to say thank you, everybody. Crypto, come on, buddy, get out there, show yourself, man. You got skills.
I do what I can. I'm still kind of bitten on missing some of those 400% runners that I called back in March and April. But
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the bear market to calm down and cool off and start picking some more. Right now, I'm really looking at Quark Chain and Singularity right now. Those are 2 coins that are high on my watch list right now.
Okay, so for the next show, we're going to come back. We'll probably do 2 coins on the next show, and then we'll flop that over to the following show, and we'll do 2 more ICOs. But for me, Vamp here, please do me a favor. Go to Twitter. Give Crypto Warrior a like. Look at all the knowledge that this guy has, you know, and he's out here. He's sharing it with all you guys. So get out there, give him a like on Twitter, give him a follow on Twitter. Come on over, join us at until1mil.com. You can go in there, you can find all of our packages, see what we got going on. I'd like to throw out there that we do have a very exciting announcement coming up about our Portugal crypto campus. So we do have our crypto campus coming in October. It'll be open to 50 people. We're super excited about that. The idea is to bring you guys in, train you, make you trading beasts, and let you free into the real world, right? So for Chris and the Vamp here and Crypto Warrior, we'd like to say thank you guys once again. And for the 2 of us, man, we just like to say thank you. Give us some likes on here on the Twitter, all right? Give us some likes on the video. And we're going to share this with everybody. This will be recorded. I'll have this up in about 10-15 minutes. Thank you all, and we are out.